Disenchanted opens with an animated recap of the events of Enchanted, where Giselle was pushed from the animated fantasy world of Annalesia into the live-action real world of New York by Nerissa. Now Disenchanted is out on Disney Plus, and if you are feeling a bit confused after watching the whole movie, then you are at the right place. We see that Giselle and Robert's love story has become a fable now, complete with a happily ever after ending. But Pip says that in the real, magic-less world, there is an after to happily ever after, and that years have passed since the events of the first movie. Giselle and Robert have a baby of their own named Sophia. Morgan is now a teenager, and since their New York apartment has become too small and stuffy for literal and emotional growth, Giselle has made the decision to move to a suburban home in Monroeville. However, soon after getting there, all of their problems multiplied tenfold. So the first question that you might ask is that what's the meaning behind memories being tool to undo Giselle's curse? Like every classic fantasy fairy tale, there is a ticking time bomb aspect to Giselle's wish. According to the magic scroll, Giselle has until midnight to reverse the spell, or else it will become permanent, and she'll end up being the evil stepmother to Morgan and the toxic ruler of Monroeville. Now, since Malvina doesn't want that to happen, she orders her minions Rosaline and Ruby to steal Giselle's wishing wand, thereby preventing her from fixing the situation. So in the brief moment that Giselle manages to suppress her evil urges, she sends Morgan to Annalesia to find a source or form of magic to undo the work of the wishing wand. If you are wondering why only Giselle can undo the wish, well, because she is a true daughter of Annalesia, and hence she has to be the one to do what's necessary. If you listen to the lyrics, Nancy says that one has to remember the good times as well as the bad times and even the most ordinary moments to root oneself in the present. The song insinuates the fantastical world of memories shouldn't be an escape route. It should be a gateway to being grounded, thereby reminding us of the traits that makes us unique and preventing us from turning into glitches. Disenchanted, the ending. Why was it Morgan and not Giselle who saved Monroeville and Annalesia? Or does it mean that the events of the movie are all a dream? Although Giselle manages to turn herself back to normal again, that doesn't mean she has turned Monroeville or Monroeville or saved Annalesia from dying. Robert points out that if all the magic from Annalesia goes away, then even Giselle is going to cease to exist because she is made of Annalesia's magic too. But as Giselle proceeds to wave the wishing wand and fix everything, Malvina captures Morgan and threatens to choke her to death, unless she gives up the wand. Of course, Giselle throws the wand at Malvina's feet, who breaks it in half, thereby facilitating the permanent transformation of Annalesa and the death of Annalesia. In a desperate attempt to stop the clock from hitting 12 o'clock, Robert and Tyrone literally prevents its gear from moving forwards by putting their swords and bodies in the way. This gives a dying Giselle the time to reconcile with Morgan and assure her that even though she is her stepdaughter, she is still a daughter of Annalesia and she has magic in her. So, Morgan picks up the broken piece of the wand and makes a wish to reverse the effect of Giselle's curse, and finally it works. The text and subtext of Morgan's ability to wield magic and save the world from annihilations come together in a very beautiful way. The fact that Disenchanted makes the acknowledgement of the love between a stepmother and a stepdaughter its centerpiece is truly heartwarming and appreciable. What happens after the curse breaks? Monroeville turns back into Monroeville. Giselle and Morgan are the only ones who remember the events that transpired in the last few hours. Everyone else remember it as a dream or a nightmare, and at this point we were afraid Disenchanted was going to make the whole narrative look inconsequential in nature, but no, it doesn't. The non-magical people have been transformed literally due to their adventure in Monroeville. Giselle spells it out for us that it's not fruitful to search for once ever after because that's a fictional sugar-coated fantasy. We need to deal with our issues, our apprehensions and our emotional outbursts ourselves and with the help of the people we trust and adore. It will be messy and complicated. However, the end result will be educational and bring us together as a community. That's a pretty relevant message if you ask yourselves. This is why you must watch Disenchanted right after watching Enchanted. The whole movie is available on Disney Plus and you can stream it whenever you want. Join us for more such Hollywood updates. Till that, stay safe. Peace out.